Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. This just in. Arkansas star guard Darius Acuff Jr. announced on ESPN's NBA Today he's declaring for June's NBA draft. ESPN NBA draft analyst Jeremy Wu currently projecting him as a top 5 pick. Center Victor Wembanyama in concussion protocol hopes to travel tomorrow when the Spurs head to Portland. Wemby uncertain for Game 3 of the first-round NBA playoff series. If he doesn't play, ESPN's Shanae Agumuke explains how the Spurs can keep from falling behind in that series.
I'm looking at the backcourt. This is one of the best young backcourts in basketball with De'Aaron Fox, who has enough veteran experience to lead the way. Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, the reigning rookie of the year, they are super talented, but they have to go toe-to-toe versus Henderson, versus Avdia. And right now, Henderson and Avdia have been able to have explosive games.
There will be no discussions on a long-term contract between the Cowboys and receiver George Pickens, according to the team's chief operating officer, Stephen Jones. They want him to play this season on the franchise tender. Remains to be seen whether he signs the tender and shows up for the offseason program, which starts next week.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, the draft is finally here, and I'll tell you exactly what teams should do if they want to win in 2026. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Draft is tomorrow.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Johnny Avello's here in 15 minutes.
Hump day.
DraftKings Sportsbook.
It's hump day.
Draft is tomorrow.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Mickey Loomis told us all of his deepest, darkest draft secrets today.
Hump day.
You'll hear that coming up here momentarily.
It's hump day.
Draft is tomorrow.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Sean Fazende will be here in hour 3.
Hump day.
Tiger Baseball got a win.
It's hump day.
President's talking about college football.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Taylor Calandro's talking about booze.
Hump day.
Lane Kiffin's talking about safeties.
It's hump day.
Got a lot to do.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get cranked up. Let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
It is annually one of the most pointless exercises on the sports calendar. After months, in some cases years, of scouting, evaluating, strategizing, going through trade scenarios, interviewing players, workouts, private workouts, Senior Bowl, Pro Day, Combine, physicals. You're 24 hours away from the draft. And coaches and GMs have to do a press conference to tell all their deepest, darkest secrets about the draft. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever. I fully understand the post-draft press conference after each round. What'd you do? How'd it go? Tell me about the player. Why'd you pick it? All that stuff. Got that. The pre-draft press conference, you're just not going to get anything. So it's why I do think maybe you can go more macro than actually questions about this year's draft, because nobody's going to say anything. It's why would you reveal any part of your strategy or thought process for this draft? You wouldn't. No one ever does. So that's why it's a really silly press conference. Nonetheless, Mickey Loomis was obligated and did talk about the Saints' position drafting 8th on Thursday.
Well, I don't like it because it means that last year didn't go very well. So you don't want to be picking in the top 10. But once you get to the draft and you look at the quality of the players that exist, you get excited about, I know we're going to get a really good player at pick 8. So you get excited about that, a guy that can have an impact on your team.
So what I do appreciate about this opportunity is any chance when you get an opportunity to speak to a coach or GM, you hope you can glean some value as far as thought process a little bit here. And it may not necessarily equate to this year's draft, but we always talk with the Saints about trades. And look, maybe that's a symptom of every fan base and every media corps about every team going into the draft as you look at trade scenarios. Could you move up? Could you move back? And more often than not, fans, media, want to see their team move back and accumulate picks. That's certainly been the case with the Saints for a while. It's just not in any way what the Saints do. Under Mickey Loomis, the Saints have made 38 draft trades. 4 have been trading back. They have not traded up in round 1 in more than 20 years. Like, excuse me. I think I said that backwards. They've made, under Mickey Loomis, let me say this another way to make sure I said this correctly. Under Mickey Loomis, the Saints have made 38 draft trades. Only 4 were trading back. The other 34 were trading up in the draft. So we all talk about the Saints potentially moving back to accumulate picks. It's just not what the Saints do or have ever really done under Mickey Loomis, and certainly not at the top of the draft. More likely what you see is them getting aggressive, moving up. Mickey Loomis traded up to take Jonathan Sullivan, 6th overall. Mickey Loomis traded up in the Olave Penning draft to get those 2 first-rounders there. Mickey Loomis traded back into the end of round 1 to get Mark Ingram. The Saints trade up. They don't trade back. And Mickey Loomis kind of talked about what scenarios would have to unfold for a trade back scenario.
The scenarios would be, okay, we're at pick 8 and we've got 4 guys that we love. And so we could go back to as far as 12. If there's 2 that we love, then we could only go back, 2 spots, right? Or someone comes in and says, we'll give you 3 first-round picks to move. May have to do that, right? So it's either or. But I'm not someone that just wants to trade just to have a transaction. And some of that, by the way, comes into play about who are you trading with and what's their likelihood that pick is going to be late the next year versus earlier. And so all that comes into play.
I think that is a very relevant point. For example, go back to 2017 when the Saints traded Brandon Cooks to New England. They got New England's pick. Well, New England ended up winning the Super Bowl, and so it ended up being pick 32. Now, that became Ryan Ramczyk, but that's a dramatic difference than trading with, say, Cleveland, where you're pretty sure that's going to end up a top 10 pick most every year, right? So who might be on the other end of the line is interesting. Now, we've talked about just sort of the mindset that the Saints had for so many years under Drew Brees, which was win now mode, as we sort of phrased it. It's another reason why I understand, while a lot of people have panned Cincinnati sending the 10th pick to the Giants for Dexter Lawrence, I get it, because they're trying to win immediately with a quarterback in which they've invested $500 million, who's had an unfortunate injury history, and they're trying to win now. Well, what helps them win now? A 28-year-old disruptive interior player, or a maybe with the 10th overall pick, not knowing what that pick is going to manifest to. Like, I get why they send that pick. And Loomis kind of explained that thought process in different words.
I would say it this way. When you have a Drew Brees, right, when you have that caliber of quarterback, you're always feeling like you're one player away, right? And so, man, let's go get the one player. And when you have a young quarterback and you're developing your roster, then you're not one player away. So you're less inclined to give up, a number of assets to get, one player. That's probably the best way I can describe it.
He was very clear to point out that this team is not one player away, by the way. But you heard him say, Drew Brees or a young quarterback. Well, you don't have Drew Brees. You have a young quarterback. The dismaying part of the Saints' recent history is that even without Drew Brees, with Derek Carr and before that Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton, they were still in win now mode, which was nauseating because they weren't close to winning, but he thought they were. And so you continued to see that same approach. Will we continue to see that same approach now with a young quarterback in Tyler Shough when they know they're not a player away, but they had a very strong finish to last season, which they asked Mickey, look, does the end of that last season make you more aggressive?
I mean, that's a 5-game stretch, right, or 6-game stretch. So I don't want to read too much into that. We're excited. We're optimistic about our future, but we're not, by no means have we arrived anywhere.
It's the most rational approach that I've heard Mickey Loomis discussing his team, this team. You should be excited. There's reason for optimism around Tyler Shough, but it is a very small sample at the end of the season against a clump of bad teams. It's why I'm not banging the drum saying, the Saints have found their franchise quarterback in Tyler Shough. They have the guy they think is their franchise that they are willing to go build around to see if that can develop into franchise quarterback. But to say after that very small sample in the final month of the season, that tells you that tells you everything you need to know. I'm not there. The other thing that I do think we have to keep an eye on is something we've talked about a few times earlier this week, and it's the trade-up scenario potentially involving Jeremiah Love. And you can roll your eyes, but Mickey Loomis was asked, does free agency affect the draft? So as to say, if you sign players in free agency, does that eliminate or alter what you do in the draft? And in this situation, obviously the Saints spent a lot of money on Travis Etienne at running back, thinking, all right, well, Jeremiah Love's off the board. Maybe not.
Look, it certainly affects us in terms of as we get later in the draft, you're trying to, fill slots on your roster. I don't think it impacts us so much at the top of the draft because, we're looking to take the best player that's available to us when we pick. But as I've said before, generally speaking, there's, when it's time to pick, you've got 2 or 3 guys that you're choosing from that are all in that same grade area. And then you look at your roster and say, hey, we need somebody at this position more than the other one. So it definitely impacts it, but it's not like the only impact.
More of an impact at the bottom of the draft than the top. So as to say, if there's a player they absolutely love, regardless of position and need, they'll take him. I tell you, I will exhale when they make that 8th pick, and it's not Jeremiah Love. Until then, I'm holding my breath because I wouldn't put anything past him. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Bud Light. Show open every day. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of your New Orleans Saints. So if you're going to be watching the draft on Thursday at your home, at your favorite bar, maybe a restaurant with buddies, draft watch party, make sure you grab plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers and the official beer of your New Orleans Saints. Of course, our friends over at Mockler Beverage, great partners of the Saints and the Tigers. So drink easy with Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the Hoodats, your New Orleans Saints. All right, speaking of the draft, it's always interesting looking at the odds makers and how they see the lens of the draft. Johnny Avello, the odds maker, the bookmaker over there at DraftKings, is going to join us when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
A big shout out to a whole bunch of families that are getting holes dug in their backyards this week. I was on Instagram earlier today and was checking out Duplessis Pools. And this is the Blanchard family, a luxury Oasis extended pool, extra deck, stonescapes, extra lighting, heater, chiller, salt automation. That is a big one, and Duplessis Pools can make it happen. I'm telling you, whatever beautiful custom-style pool you want in your backyard, our friends at Duplessis Pools can make it happen. They're going to build you a beautiful pool, a showstopper, with amazing craftsmanship. Remember, the industry standard when it comes to a workmanship warranty is 1 year. Most in the industry will warranty their work for 1 year. Duplessis Pools gives you a 10-year workmanship warranty because, Derek, they take the time to do it right, and they stand by their work. Check them out online at duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your...
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Johnny Avello, DraftKings head odds maker, good enough to join us. Haven't seen him since Super Bowl. Johnny, how are you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Always our pleasure. Where does something like the draft rate on there at DraftKings relative to other events as far as handle and interest?
You know, for us, it's a really big deal. You know, the other drafts, the NBA, WNBA, Major League, NHL, they're not much, but this one has turned into a big event. So for us, you know, it grows every year, and I would say you could put it in the category of you know, like a mid-level, early morning, 10 o'clock West Time NFL game, somewhere in that area.
Okay. What tends to be the most wagered upon things in the draft?
Well, normally the number one is you know, picking number one or number two. That's usually the top money grabber. But in this case, we've had this up for quite a while. Mendoza was bet early, and he was bet at some pretty good odds. I think we had him 40-1 at one point.
Wow.
You know, but remember, it was wide open at that point, so there was no,
sure.
he was no lock to be the one. Now he is. Now the things we're seeing, number 2 and number 3 are both interesting. We're getting a lot of money on, was it Bailey number 2? Is it Reese number 2? That's been going back and forth. Jeremiah Love, will he go exactly in the 4th spot? Some think he'll move up, and that's possible. I mean, the Titans, maybe the Titans don't need a running back. Maybe the Titans need an edge, and so maybe there's some trading there. The quarterbacks, 1.5. We know Mendoza's 1 for sure, but is Simpson going to go in the 1st round? Is somebody going to pick him up late in the 1st round, whether that be Cardinals, maybe the Jets, maybe? I think just those 2, but, who knows? And I think trades are going to play a part in this, too. The Cowboys talking about trading up, Arizona talking about trading up from the 2nd, and there's going to be more to come. So there's just a lot of uncertainties here.
Johnny Avello's with us, DraftKings head odds maker. Are there public teams in the draft like there are for games? Like the public obviously likes to bet the Cowboys. Is it similar in the draft?
Not really.
Okay.
Because there's some research. This is not where you just pick a game A or B.
Yeah.
You actually have to do a little bit of research and kind of know the draft a bit to make your selections. Now, of course, you could say, I think, somebody's going to go in the top 10. I think a Jordan Tyson will go in the top 10. Or you could say, like, a Sonny Styles is going to go in the top 5 or top 10. You can make those type of picks. But if you're really going to be concentrating on the entire draft and trying to find some value in bets, I don't think you're going for your favorite team. I think you're really dissecting the field.
Well, our favorite team here, for most of us anyway, is the New Orleans Saints. They pick at number 8. What's been the challenge or the opportunity there trying to target what the Saints are going to do with the 8th pick?
I think the Saints probably wide receivers, probably where they're going to end up going. So, the question is that going to be Carnell Tate, or is there somebody like Tyson who's a better pick? I think that's where they're going to end up landing, but, we'll see. Things change. We all think we know what's going to happen, and then all of a sudden, here comes the draft day and the pick, and something comes out of left field. I mean, it happens all the time in these drafts.
Jordan Tyson, now I'm looking at the DraftKings app right now. Jordan Tyson, you have it plus $2 right now to be the Saints pick at number 8, and then a pretty big gap to Mansour Delane at plus 425, then Carnell Tate at 450. What's happened here, Johnny, because there's been a lot of movement there. At one point, Ruben Bain, I think, might have been the betting favorite for the Saints at 8 overall. What's happened there with Tyson to cause him to jump up?
Some of these guys just get hot. Tyson, I know, did a workout last week, and the workout went well. And, when that news that the workout goes good, then everybody starts thinking where he's going to go, and then the news – the team doesn't put out much news. I think a lot of it is just noise. But, the people that were at the workout saw it and say, okay, well, this is a better spot now for the Saints, and this guy's going to move up, and he's going to be, now the number 1 wide receiver. So all of those things happen, and for us, it's all about just trying to stay in touch with it, because, like I said, this is not played out on the field. This is all information based. So It's a very difficult proposition for us, but we really enjoy doing it.
Because it is all information based, Johnny, I wonder if this has even become a profitable endeavor for the sports books, because it would stand to reason a lot of maybe the sharp money may have as good or good information to where they're maybe playing with a little bit of an upper hand. Does that make sense? Does that come into factor?
I would say you are correct on that, going back a few years. Now, remember, we haven't been booking that draft this long. I've been with DraftKings for 8 years. Prior to that, I was at Wynn Las Vegas, and I booked it for a couple years, and we didn't put up anywhere near the content that we do at DraftKings. We'd have who's going to be number 1 pick, maybe 2, maybe the top 10 guys, and that's it. We had to close the draft 24 hours prior to the draft taking place in Nevada, and here we are at DraftKings. We're booking live wagering on it. We're gonna do all the entire first round. So to answer your question, we're better at it now. We really are. I mean, we've got a pretty good handle on it, and The Sharps did get the best of it early, but I think right now we're in a good place. We feel confident. How we book it.
Johnny Avello's with us, head odds maker over at DraftKings. I'm one of those, Johnny, that I'll be live betting the draft. I mean, I will be. I'll be having. It's just such a fun way to take in the draft with all that playing out as it plays out. One more I want to ask you about is an LSU guy, Mansour Delane. What do you see as far as, I'm looking at the DraftKings app right now. I'm looking at odds. What maybe is his ceiling and what maybe is technically or theoretically here his floor?
I guess it's possible to be a top 10, but probably not. And so with some of the trades, if the Cowboys are going to trade up and they're going to look for somebody early, he's probably somewhere between 11 to 15, 16, I'd say, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay. That'd be a little disappointing. I know there's a lot of, well, look, it's not never disappointing to be a first-round pick, but there's a lot of folks down here who may see him as a top 10, might even like to see him land in New Orleans if they end up going on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see how it plays out. DraftKings Sportsbook, make sure you download the app, get in on the fun. It's a great way to watch the draft, as I mentioned, and you can bet on darn near anything. Johnny, I mean, is there anything else that, by the way, that's new that you all are booking this year? Because I mean, there's a million props and a million different ways to bet on the draft. Is there anything new or interesting that catches your eye?
Well, remember, we used to stop the in-play wagering, and this is picking a certain player in a certain spot.
Right.
And we used to cut that off at number 20. This year, we're going all the way through the first round with that. Now, remember, when you're playing that, we're ahead about 3 guys because of, the lag. So when they're picking number 20, we're already up on 23. So if you're going to play that, make sure you know that and you're staying ahead of it. Our props change every year because of who the position players. I mean, there's 1.5 quarterbacks this year. You can bet over under that. There's only 2 running backs, and the question is, we know Love's going to be going. The question is Price, the other Notre Dame running back, is he going to be in the first round? So there's some guessing there, and so what we do is we put up bets that kind of relate to what we see on these drafts, and they all are unique. None of them are the same. So there's a lot of content up there, I can tell you that. You won't be lost for finding something.
Johnny Avello, head odds maker there at DraftKings. Good luck tomorrow. Enjoy the draft. We'll be following along, man. Thank you.
Thank you much. Have a good day.
Always appreciate it, Johnny Avello. It's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You can always log on to FirstSouthLand.com. Start there. They got the Recreational Land Buyer's Guide. It's a free resource on the homepage of the website. Would highly recommend if you're thinking of buying land and you're not sure where to start there. The Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. It's there. It's a free resource at FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Maybe you're someone who already owns land. A lot of people who buy land already own land. You want to roll some of your equity from your current property into a new property. They can help you do that. This isn't like buying land is not like buying a home. Or another type of asset. It is an asset all itself, and so you need land lenders who are experienced in that ecosystem to help you. And the best are First South Farm Credit because they've been doing it since 1916, more than 100 years. FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, thanks to Johnny Avello for joining us. How about that? Thanks to Lane, probably drops out of the top 10. We'll see. I'll be curious, obviously, what happens with New Orleans. He seems to think the Saints go receiver, Jordan Tyson, a little bit of a jump there. He is now the betting favorite, Jordan Tyson is, to go 8 overall to the New Orleans Saints. I would not, and the question I asked there at the end, Jimmy and I have talked about here for years, the information has gotten so good that it is hard to be profitable. If you're a bettor, it is hard to be profitable because the books, as Johnny said, they've gotten really good at it. Their information is really good. So you kind of have to, you got to get ahead of it. As you mentioned, like if you got Fernando Mendoza when he was 40-1, you took a flyer on him with the number 1 overall pick. If you thought that might be something, a couple of months ago or near the end of the season, you got great value. Well, now it's impossible. So that's interesting. The other thing he said there is interesting is, remember, don't be on the app if you don't want spoilers, because they are real time at the sports books, whereas when we're watching on TV or whatever you stream, there's going to be a delay. So they're always ahead of where you are. So if you want the spoiler, jump on the app. If you don't want the spoiler, don't be on the betting apps. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. We'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro will be here in 15 minutes for our Bourbon Dictionary segment. We're glad you're hanging out on a Hump Day edition of AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, thinking about hosting an event, either property, Watermark or Renaissance. Beautiful places in Baton Rouge to host your event. Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet. They call it Southtown. Bluebonnet near I-10. It's across from Mall of Louisiana, Perkins Row, kind of right between the two. It is a gorgeous, sprawling hotel. The Grand Ballroom can host up to 500 people. So if you need a small, quaint wedding reception, a boardroom for a dozen people, they can do that. They can even bring all your, they have all the internet connectivity and all the tech that you need in their custom boardrooms. You can also have your meals in there. They make it so easy at Renaissance Baton Rouge. But if you have a giant event where you need room for 500 people, Renaissance Baton Rouge can host you there as well. Right there on Bluebonnet, man, for coming in town for Tigers games, maybe starting to plan ahead for the fall. Remember, the Football Fridays, the Tigers stay at the Renaissance the night before every home game, so you should stay there as well. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
On Tuesday at the White House, President Trump hosted about 100 student athletes from 7 different teams that won NCAA championships in 2025. Customary, the visit to the White House when you win a national championship. He took that opportunity while he was making his remarks to again call for reform in college sports. This is how it sounded.
It's a very, very precarious position that the courts have left us in, and now it's a total and complete mess. But we're going to get it fixed up, and we've got some fantastic people. So we need now Congress to act to clear up the confusion created by the courts and institute permanent reforms to protect college sports at every level, and especially some sports. And frankly, a lot of the emphasis is put on football, but football's now destroying the colleges economically because they're being paid so much that the colleges are losing so much money. It's not sustainable.
I think the most important part of what the president said there is, again, calling on Congress to pass legislation to enact permanent reform. And I think that's the most important part because, remember, this comes just several weeks after the president issued his executive order. And the thing we talked about at the time was I can certainly appreciate the shining a light on the issues surrounding college athletics, but the feeling that the executive order, the executive order was not going to be enforceable. And the fact that now, a month or so later, the president is again imploring Congress to pass legislation tells you his feeling is that the executive order is not enforceable. He's effectively saying, I want you to do this. And they've yet to do that. And it's very unfortunate because what's happening is you just have a game of partisan politics, and it's very difficult to imagine the two sides coming to some type of agreement. And unless they do, and it keeps these issues continue to remain at the state level, you're going to have different, and the reason that's a problem, obviously, is because different states have different laws. So laws that affect Louisiana at like LSU, it's different than Ohio or California or Florida or Missouri. You understand? So the reason they want Congress to act is so you have uniformity. And until then, you just have athletes and attorneys that keep challenging the NCAA in state court, and most of them keep winning. And so you continue to have this issue. So, listen, I appreciate the president bringing attention to the matter. Him talking about it keeps it in the consciousness, and certainly platforms and legislation can be affected by the president's interest. And clearly he has an interest in this, which is a good thing for college sports, the fact that he's interested. But I think it also illustrates that his executive order is not going to be something that he or anyone feels is enforceable. They're going to need Congress to pass legislation that he can then sign into law that can affect this type of change. How that looks, I don't know. But this much sort of speaks to that, his, again, addressing this matter. Another part of this as well is he also talked about the importance of reaching some type of agreement to the Olympic sports and what effect that has on the United States.
75% of Olympians competing for Team USA played as college athletes. If we don't straighten out this, we're not going to have much of an Olympic team because you have so many of these sports, especially certain sports where it's like the minor leagues. You could call it the major leagues. You could call it whatever you want, but we train unbelievable athletes to go in and win the gold medal. And without college sports, without your ability to go into college sports and compete and learn really how to play and get better, we're not going to have much of an Olympic team anymore.
Or you'll have to invest in training and competing for those Olympians at younger ages. It just changes the model. So I don't think college athletics is meant to be a training ground for the Olympics. That's certainly not why it exists. It is a byproduct of college sports, and it would certainly be a negative thing if you didn't have competitive athletes in the Olympics. But what's the point of what we're doing here is I think ultimately the question that needs to be asked. And in the meantime, it's going to keep on in the path it is, with athletes making an awful lot of money, which I'm great with. I want them to make a lot of money, and I want them to earn their net worth. And the only way, I'll say this again, the only way all the nonsense at the court level stops is if the university presidents say, we're stopping this. If the president at the University of Mississippi tells Trinidad Chambliss, no, we are a member of the NCAA. Their rules prohibit you from playing any further. Your college eligibility is exercised. Thank you. Good luck in what's next. But they won't do that because they need Trinidad Chambliss to win games, to make money, to bring attention to the school. And so really, it falls back on the university presidents more so than anything. And they're the real cowards in this situation because they're the ones who actually could affect change, but won't. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Get on by, see our friends over at Rouse's. Still got crawfish, y'all, every single day. Hot boiled crawfish from their in-house boiling rooms at every single Rouse's location every single day. So when you walk in, you're grabbing fresh boiled crawfish every day over at Rouse's. They always have their weekly specials as well, which you can get at the website, Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. It's where you can go see the weekly specials. Good through the 29th. So starting today, good through next week. Like boneless London broil steak or top round roast, only $4.97 a pound. Get on by and feed your whole family. You want to see those specials, you can get them on Facebook, all their social media, of course, at Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, Taylor Calandro's here in about 6 minutes from right now for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Right now, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Darius Acuff is declared for the NBA draft. All-American. Only player in the country to average 20.6 assists, averaged 23.5 per game. He was awesome this year. First-team All-American, Bob Cousy Award for the nation's best point guard. Acuff, one and done at Arkansas.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy's added Missouri transfer guard T.O. Barrett, 6'4", 205. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining. Started 14 games this past year at Missouri, but now is transferring to the other black and gold in the league.
Texas A&M!
Aggies have landed a commitment from former G League combo guard Bryson Warren, because that's totally normal now. You go play in the G League and then you go back to college. Warren's 21 years old, been in the G League since the 23-24 season. Most recently played for the Knicks affiliate, the Westchester Knicks. 6'3", 191, played in 21 games with 17 starts, averaging nearly 20 points a game.
The Auburn Tigers.
SEC guard George Kimball has committed to Auburn. He's leaving Vandy and headed to Auburn. Shared that Wednesday on social media. Former Eastern Kentucky transfer. He sat out last year with injury. So Eastern Kentucky went to Vandy, sat out. Now he's going to Auburn. 6'2", averaged 18 points 2 seasons ago at Eastern Kentucky.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Elite edge Antoine Higgins has committed to Kentucky. 6'2.5", 230. He's a 3-star out of Ohio. Now Kentucky's got 11 commits for the 2027 class.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Kalen DeBoe's got a commitment from edge Stephen Thornton. He's a 3-star out of Georgia. He's 6'5", 195. It was his first his first Power 5 offer didn't come until January, so a late riser here, but is now committed to the Crimson Tide. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, hormone replacement therapy, peptide therapy, ED treatment. You want to look and feel your best? Goodwood can help. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We will wrap up hour number 1. Taylor will be here for Bourbon Dictionary, so get your booze questions in. And in about 17 minutes, right after SportsCenter, we'll recap LSU's win over UNO out at the box. Jay Johnson talking about what his team's got to do to get on track here in the final month of the season. Stick around. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Rev Fiber. You know you want to get things moving quickly. You need fiber in your diet. You want to get your internet moving quickly? You need fiber in the ground in front of your home or your business. That's Rev Fiber. R-E-V, RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com. When you call Rev Fiber, you're getting all the great local support, 90 years of local ownership with Rev, local call centers, local people, local service, and you're getting lightning fast internet speeds backed by the stability and reliability of an all-fiber network. revfiber.com. Listen, it's not just internet, phone, security, home or business automation. They can do all of it. Cable, they can do all of it for you at Rev. But make sure you check out revfiber.com. At Parrish, we're a Rev customer. Guarantee Media, we're a Rev customer. revfiber.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Shaw Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues, like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit Louisiana.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
Been a minute. What up, dude?
Howdy, man. What's up?
Hey,
How
have you
are
ever,
you?
I'm good. Have you ever heard of Root Shoot whiskey?
Root Shoot whiskey. No, I have not. Why?
Well, because they had the London Spirits competition, and Root Shoot American Single Malt 4-year-old bottle and bond won the Spirit of the Year, the Whiskey of the Year in the United States of America. Never even heard of it.
Man, I mean, I've never heard of them either, but I've tried single malt, like domestic single malts, and the majority of them I just don't really care for. I mean, there's not a lot of expressions of them, but they're becoming more popular now. But, I mean, people not familiar, single malts are generally Scotch. They've been doing it a long time, so... but I'm not familiar with that one now, and I'm not familiar with those awards either.
Yes,
to be honest with you.
Uncle Nearest won a few, and then Strength won Straight Bourbon of the Year. Which
I love Maker's Mark, man. I mean, for me, it's hard for Maker's Mark to be missed for me, but I love weeded whiskey, so yeah, I'm generally on board with Maker's Mark.
Age 7 years, 2 months, cash strength. I'm looking at the proof on it. 110 proof. I don't know that I've had their cash strength, Taylor. I have to check that out.
Have you had any barrel? Any barrel picks?
A million of them. I mean, I've had all of yours, and it's with the stave finishes in them, and they're all outstanding. I mean, I don't know that I've literally ever had a bad one.
Yeah, those probably fit around 115, 120 proof. So those are generally higher proof expressions from Makers, and we have a new Makers release actually from their wood finishing series that they've been doing the past few years. It's called the Stewards release. I haven't tried it. We literally just got it. I heard it's kind of sweet, but the wood finishing series that they've been doing has been on the sweeter side, which I'm not saying it's sweet like sweet. It's just got a little bit of sweetness compared to other bourbon, and that comes with the wood finishing and Makers weeded mash bill. So.
Well, yeah. Explain that if you would. The wood series, the wood finishing series.
Yeah, so I mean, Makers has kind of become known for doing the wood finishing thing. What they do is they'll take their regular cask strength whiskey, which is generally I think about 6 years, and then add it to a new barrel with different combinations of staves. They have different types of wood finish that they use, different type of wood staves that they use. I think this one particularly uses just virgin oak staves, which give it a more sweet flavor, sweeter flavor profile, just because of that particular wood finish. But all of the finishes, I've gotten a chance to pick a few of those barrels, and you can kind of mess around with the finishes while you're picking the barrels. They all produce vastly different flavors, and it's kind of interesting. It's very different than what most barrel programs are. What most barrel programs are is you're just choosing a barrel, basically. Makers kind of let you create your own thing, and this wood finishing series it's kind of a quote unquote barrel type thing that they're doing in house.
I should have started as well. What else is new over there?
Well, the Makers, and I think that's $80. And I mean, like I said, we just got it today. I haven't had a chance to try it. I heard it's really good though. We got the back end, and they've been kind of spotty. The Penelope cocktails, which I don't know if you've tried any. They're only $27. They're 80 proof. There's a peach old fashioned, which has maple syrup in it.
I have had that actually. Someone gifted me a bottle. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm looking at a photo of it here, and I have gotten that. Yes.
A black walnut and I think apple cinnamon. And I've tried the black walnut and the apple cinnamon, and those are great. I don't really like them straight up. If you add a couple ounces of whiskey on top of whatever, on top of the mix, basically, it kind of mellows out the sweetness, and it's really good. And they're only $27 too. So those are nice little cocktails in a bottle. Basically, just pre-made cocktail.
If you want something easy, it's a good way to go, right? I mean, it's just open, pour it over ice. If you want, like you said, to add a shot of whiskey or whatever it is to sort of top it off, you can do that. Not my favorite way to go. I think I've struggled to find a pre-made cocktail mix like that I like. But
have you tried the black walnut or the apple cinnamon? I
have not.
Apples,
I just had of the Penelope. I just had the peach.
Yeah, you need. So the peach was probably my least favorite of the three.
Okay, maybe I got to try the other ones.
The black walnut and the apple cinnamon, while sweet, are very good. If you want to mellow it out with a couple dashes of bitters, or if you're feeling frisky, add a couple ounces of whiskey on top of the already whiskey. I think it's 80 proof, so it's already got a bunch in there.
Let's we got about 90 seconds. Get a few questions here. Taylor Calandro's with us from Calandro. Scott said, "Hey Taylor, have you tried Barrel 18 year? And if so, what do you think?"
Barrel 8, no, I have not. I mean, I've tried some older marks from them. I don't think I've specifically tried the 18 year. The older marks from them are good. It just largely depends on the price at the end of the day with those guys.
They are really proud of their whiskey at Barrel.
They are, and they. I mean, it's good.
It's good.
Stuff.
It's very good. They are proud of it.
You are absolutely right, especially those higher age stated whiskeys. They do like to fetch a few bucks for those.
One more. Eric Gotro said, Taylor, have you ever heard of Rebecca Creek whiskey? It's made near San Antonio. Any good?
Yeah, Rebecca Creek. Walton and Johnson used to promote Rebecca Creek like crazy. And actually, at one of our first raffles, we had the owner there and the master distiller signing bottles. I haven't sold that in a long time. I'm not a huge fan of Rebecca Creek. It's very light. But that was Walton and Johnson's thing for a long time.
Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Get by and see him on Government Street. Thanks, dude.
All right, man. See you.
Be well. We appreciate the time. Tap for further review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We're going to knock out a quick break, come back. We'll talk a little LSU baseball. Tigers got back in the win column last night. That's next on AFR.
After further review.
We are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. A lot of people probably maybe getting your tax refund in. If you were on time with your taxes, maybe you already got it. Maybe you filed an extension and you're waiting for that refund to come in. Well, whenever you get it or if you've already gotten it, don't go waste that money. Reinvest that money into what is the biggest investment that you make, your home. Install energy-efficient replacement windows. Beautiful entry doors, hardy plank or vinyl siding, which will make your home more energy efficient. It lasts. If you install that hardy plank or that vinyl siding, comes finished in whatever color you want, and you will never paint your house again. It's incredible. It's also fire resistant. It's energy efficient. Learn more about it. Relief Windows does it all, and of course, you're always going to get exemplary customer service. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com. It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Hi, this is Beth Torina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, Alabama and football coach Calandro agreed to a new 7-year, $87.5 million contract. The Magic, one of only 5 NBA teams to beat the Pistons twice in the regular season, look to try to pull off a second straight upset on the road in Game 2 of that first-round NBA playoff series tonight in Detroit, 7 Eastern ESPN. That's followed by Thunder up 1-0 and the Suns, 9:30 Eastern. Spurs could be without their best player, center Victor Wembanyama, for Game 3 of their series on Friday against the Blazers. He's in concussion protocol. ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
He is their system, offensively and defensively. He's a generational talent. His impact on the Spurs is so impactful that when he's on the floor and he is available, they're a championship contender. When he's not on the floor, they're a first-round exit, and they could possibly lose this series. My panic meter is high.
Arkansas star guard Darius Acuff Jr. declared for June's NBA draft. He's currently slotted as the number 6 prospect in the draft, according to ESPN draft analyst Jeremy Wu.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, the draft is finally here, and I'll tell you exactly what teams should do if they want to win in 2026. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood and Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sure? And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here, glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Both Tyler Shough and Mickey Loomis met with reporters at different times today on Wednesday, and both at different times discussed this receiver class in the draft. We're going to get to that in about 15 minutes from right now. Baseball Tigers got back in the win column on Tuesday night. They beat UNO 10-7. It was competitive early. UNO got up 2-0. LSU tied it. UNO added 2 more. LSU had a 7-run 5th inning. They were up big, and then UNO put up a couple runs on Gavin Guidry in the 9th to make it look a little closer than it was at that point. But nonetheless, LSU needed a win. They got back in the win column. If you're following these sorts of things, I mean, after losing 7 of 8, LSU had lost 7 of 8. I'm going to say that again slowly. LSU had lost 7 of 8. It feels good just to win a game. Their RPI goes from 63 to 63, up 3 spots from 66 to 63 after last night. It's one of the things we've talked about. Listen, everyone keeps having the conversation about RPI, and it's true. Like, your RPI has to be better. You got a dozen games left in conference play. 9 of the 12 are going to be against top 30 RPI teams. So you have plenty of opportunity to boost your RPI if you win games. But you got to go win games on the weekend. So we'll see if they can do that. In the meantime, for Jay Johnson, he did obviously confirm Jake Brown's injury and talked a little bit about it in the postgame.
I have a lot of favorite players of all time. He's easily one of the favorite players of all time. That athleticism, everybody can see it. The competitiveness, everybody can see it. The character, I see that, and it's hard to put all those things like in one player, and that's who Jake Brown is. And then, he was good enough to make a contribution, on a 43-win team, as a freshman, and evolved into, in my opinion, one of our most valuable players on the national championship team. Several huge hits in the postseason, and still he had the humility with his quality of player as he was to embrace, platooning a little bit. He started almost 50 games. I never thought of him that way, but he did that, and then was a leader, for this team, and I'm proud of his development. I can't say enough good things about him. That was a gut punch, not just forget the production for the team, but that dude means a lot to me, and not the way you want, a career of that caliber to end. First question he asked me is, can I continue to travel? And I was like, coach third base if you want to. I love him, and that was a gut punch.
Jake Brown did post a photo on his social media earlier today, apparently post-operative. You can see on the right hand, he's got the cast there, the wrap on the right hand from his hospital room. So had that hamate bone surgery, and we wish Jake Brown all the best in his very speedy recovery. He'll be with the team the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll bring some support and leadership to the team as he's continued to do, and it'll help the Tigers in these final 4 weeks. So, disappointing end to a great player's career at LSU, at least on the field. But as you heard Jay say there, that Jake Brown will be with the team for the final 4 weeks of conference play. And we'll see if they're able to get into the postseason. Now, if they do get into the postseason, they're going to have to rely on a lot of young players. That was probably the biggest storyline of Tuesday night. 3 freshmen were in the starting lineup. Jack Ruckert started at second base. William Patrick started in right for Jake Brown, and then Omar Cerna got the start as well. And all 3 produced. Ruckert was 2 for 3 at the plate. Patrick was 1 for 2 with a walk and was hit by a pitch. Cerna had a 2 RBI single in that 7-run fifth. It's one of the things you got to see. I mean, you went and you recruited these super talented young guys. A lot of them are going to get an opportunity. By the way, also Braun got in the game late, had a knock, so it made a beautiful play, a diving catch and left as well. So you're going to see more of these freshmen in the final month, and you hope that continues to materialize. And Jay was asked post-game if these guys performing the way they did means more playing time for them.
Yeah, we'll see. It's game by game. We did everything we think we needed to do to win the game today. Obviously some pinch hits in there, and it's going to take a team effort, So just proud we got to win tonight. It's nice to score 10. That was an on the regular thing here on Tuesdays for a long time. Hasn't necessarily been the case this year, so it felt good to do that, and it did feel good that those guys contributed to it. I think they all have a place here, and they'll probably be more involved in it.
They'll need to be. York got a start last night as well. First time we've seen Zach York in a couple of weeks, at least in a starting capacity. So the Tigers going on the road now to Mississippi State this weekend. We'll see how Jay Johnson chooses to line it up. But it stands to reason that William Patrick, who got the first crack at right field with Jake Brown's injury, will continue to get more opportunities. And that's something Jay Johnson also addressed after the game. Yeah, 9.
Needs to play, needs to take advantage of this time whenever he's in there, and needs to take advantage of summer baseball. And he's got all the athletic talent and tools. He's probably the fastest player I've ever had on any team, and I've had some really good runners. And he's a great competitor, so athlete, competitor. Think about what we were just talking about with Jake Brown, has some similar characteristics to him, has some similar characteristics to Ethan Fry. So it's a good fit for, our program.
Patrick is taller than Jake Brown, not quite as filled out as Ethan Fry was by the time his career ended, but you can see the comp and the similarities, and he can fly. I mean, Jake Brown's probably the best athlete on the team. William Patrick would challenge him for that, certainly faster, as you heard Jay Johnson say there. So actually illustrated that in the game last night when he scored on a bunt. Beautiful play to evade a tag. And kind of make sure he got his hand on the plate as he reached around the backside of the plate. So a guy that has a super high ceiling, but coming to LSU this year knew he was going to sit because of Stanfield, Curiel, Brown. There wasn't going to be a path to the field when the entire starting outfield was returning. And so some of these really talented young guys have had to operate this year with a degree of humility and wait their turn. And, we'll go back to what Jay Johnson said after the game on Friday, where he said he's not going to make some of the same mistakes in building the roster. Well, This is kind of what he's talking about in letting these uber-talented young guys leave the program. And it's easy to say with the benefit of hindsight. My hands in the air, we all talked about it, man. They went and signed the number 1 portal class, and we were all excited about Braden Simpson and Trent Caraway and York and Dardar and all the guys they added. Well, with the benefit of hindsight, you let Costello and Mikey Ryan get away. They're starters at first and short. That could have been the right side of your infield this year, and they're having great seasons. I mean, that it could have been. But if you hit on the other guys like you'd hit so many times in the portal, we're not having that conversation. But you miss, and so we have the conversation. But Jay's also rightly pointed out, I mean, the power that left your program after last season was Jared Jones and Ethan Fry, and those were homegrown guys. I mean, those were guys that were high school signees that grew and developed through your program and became great players for you. And that's certainly a path they're going to follow, and William Patrick could be one of those. I fully expect he will be one of your starting outfielders next season. Where at is he, center? I don't know. I mean, there's talk about him playing shortstop. He's a giant shortstop if he played there. But he certainly would stand to reason would be one of your starting outfielders next season. But it is one of the things that's a little uncomfortable when you start talking about the freshmen in next season, because on April the 22nd at LSU, we're not used to talking about next season and looking ahead to the final month being sort of a training ground for next year. And there's 12 games to go, and it's a fool's errand to try to throw dirt on LSU at this point with the talent that they have. And you have talented arms in Evans and Schmidt. You're not going to get more back, and now Jake Brown's out. It feels like an improbability of this team winning enough to get into regional play, but certainly it is possible, so we'll continue to follow. But over the final month, that could be the real benefit of this final month, is getting a lot of these young guys reps and AB so you can hit the ground running. And the same is true on the mound. Look, Danny Lockenmeyer was awesome last night. He's been one of the real stories here in the last several weeks. If you didn't see it, Lockenmeyer's final line, he gave you an inning and two. I'm sorry, he gave you an inning and 2/3. He struck out 5. I mean, if you are, he struck out 5 of the 7 hitters he faced. And if you're looking for reason for optimism and projection, you're looking at guys who, out of the bullpen in particular, which struggled so much, are starting to establish themselves. Look, Fontenot got the start and gave you 4 innings. The first 3 innings, I think he needed 32 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. I mean, he was cruising. Gave up a 2-run homer in the 4th, but got you through 4 innings on 48 total pitches. Garcia struggled. Benj got you out of the mix there in the 5th. Cooper Williams was awesome. He faced the minimum and struck out 2 in his 1 inning of work. So you're starting to identify the guys that, this is typical of this time of year, where the guys you can count on are emerging or have emerged. It's really just a question of what are you playing for here down the stretch. So, look, the last thing Jay Johnson was asked is about that, about the NCAA tournament, like if that's something that he's talking about with his team.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, the speech thing is over. It's literally like, stop trying to do well and just compete in the game. And where we land is where we land. And it's hard to impress on them. Like, I live for the NCAA tournament. Might be super shallow-minded, but I do. And they know the work that they have to do. They've known for 4 weeks, honestly, to try to create that sense of urgency. But it's really just about how we play.
I don't think it's shallow. I think it's awesome. That's why you want Jay Johnson to be your coach. So 4 weeks to go, 4 SEC weekends to go. See if the Tigers have any type of push in them. Of course, you saw the photo of Jake Brown earlier today, surgery. Lake takes care of the Tigers, and they often say trust isn't given, it's earned. And LSU Baseball earns its success pitch by pitch, inning by inning. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake providers earn trust every day. As LSU's championship health partner, Our Lady of the Lake cares for the defending national champions, keeping the Tigers healthy, strong, and ready to perform all season long. Well, that kind of care starts with a strong team. In fact, FMOL Health was recently recognized by Gallup as an exceptional workplace. It's one of the highest honors for organizations that build engaged teams and a strengths-based culture. So that same team is the one trusted by the Tigers. It's here for families across Louisiana, from sports medicine to pediatrics, heart care to recovery from everyday injuries. Our Lady of the Lake brings championship-level care to the communities they serve. Trust the team that cares for the team you love. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging aboard with us here We'll talk to Sean Fazende coming up in hour number 3, our buddy from Fox 8, 1 hour from right now. He's at Mickey Loomis's pre-draft press conference, get his takeaways from it. But when we come back, Loomis had his pre-draft press conference, and Tyler Shough was at the Zurich Pro-Am. And both at times today, independent of one another, were asked and talked about the wide receivers in this draft class. So I want to let you hear what they said and maybe what the Saints might be thinking as they embark on the 3-day draft starting on Thursday. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Always remind you about Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, title sponsor of our Hump Day shows all throughout the year. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. I want to remind you, of course, Goodwood does ED treatments. Tell you that all the time. Maybe you've taken a little blue pill before that hasn't worked, or they do so much more than just the oral medication. They have a lot of different therapies that could work for you. But there's so much more than ED, and primarily, of course, it's hormone replacement therapy. So if you've heard me talk about HRT, maybe you certainly have friends or maybe relatives or coworkers that are on HRT. A simple blood draw. You'll go in, they'll take a few small vials of blood, they'll run your blood labs, which is a great idea anyway to get your blood labs run regularly. I do it twice a year, every 6 months. They can check your hormone levels and let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. That could be the unlock to get you back to feeling the way you did when you were younger. Clear of brain fog, tons of waking energy. Learn more. YourGoodwood.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, I had a great day today. My friends over at River Parish Contractors, over at SNF in Plaquemine. SNF hosted their annual Safety Day 2026. 2-day event, really cool. For a lot of the folks that work at SNF, it's kind of a reward. It was the first time I've been out there, but I mean, they had tons of food, even funnel cakes and snowballs and all kind of stuff. It was a reward for I don't want to quote the exact number, but it was over 1 million man-hours of work without a safety incident, which is incredible when you think about it. And River Parish Contractors is one of the vendors and contractors that was there, the title sponsor of the annual Safety Day. So it was great to be out there and get to meet so many and see so many of my friends from River Parish Contractors. Just another reminder of how involved and invested they are at River Parish Contractors into safety and into that community. Check them out online, y'all. It's rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
This week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is proud to resort Dreams Come True during our annual Radiothon, helping grant dreams for children facing life-threatening illnesses. Join us Tuesday, April the 28th for a special power hour where your donation could also score you an incredible prize pack, including Post Malone tickets, Jazz Fest tickets, a signed Jacob Hester jersey, a signed Matt Flynn's jersey, and Raising Cane swag. Tune in, make a donation, and help us change a child's life during the Dreams Come True Radiothon on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Thanks to First American Bank and Boudreaux's Electrical, along with Chad's Collision, Subaru of Baton Rouge, Lewis Mechanical, Patient Plus, and River Parish Contractors for making it all happen.
To be honest, I trust the front office completely. I'm not super well versed into D-end or interior D-line play, or a lot of those guys, or what makes them, I want to find out what makes those guys tick and be a part of the Saints organization and what kind of culture we're trying to bring. And I think with last year's rookie class and what Kellen and the staff is building is we want the right guys and guys who love to work hard and want to be a part of the New Orleans Saints. So I trust them. I'm exactly like you guys. I'm excited to find out.
That was Tyler Shough at the Zurich Classic Pro-Am talking about the Saints' upcoming draft. Of course, the NFL draft begins on Thursday with round 1, continues Friday with rounds 2 and 3, and then Saturday will be rounds 4 through 7, and the next crop of New Orleans Saints players will officially join the franchise, the organization. The Saints have 8 picks, as we well know. It'll be fascinating to see if they actually make all 8 of those selections or if they wheel and deal like they are wont to do. The Saints made 9 picks a year ago, all 9 of their selections, which is stunning, because they just don't do that. They use their draft capital to trade, to move up, and whenever you have a large number of selections, generally speaking, you maybe don't make all those picks because you may not have that many spots on your roster available. So as to say, like, you can take a Sharpie and write Tyler Shough, Kelvin Banks, Tali Fuaga, Eric McCoy. You get it, right? There's players you can go down like they're on the team. Well, then you go and you look at, all right, well, how many roster spots do you have? Well, if you don't have necessarily 8 or 9 spots available, do you really want to select 8 or 9 players? So that's sort of the thought process behind it. In any event, it stands to reason the Saints are going to pick a receiver somewhere in this draft, a pass catcher, someone to help Tyler Shough and this offense. Chris Olave had a 1,000-yard season this past year for New Orleans. After Chris Olave, it was a wasteland at receiver. When the season was tanking early, it was very evident. They started the yard sale. They shipped Rashid Shaheed up to Seattle. And after Olave, you were talking about Devon Vele, who for the first half of the season was largely ineffective, had a good handful of games before he suffered a season-ending injury. And what else are we talking about? Journeyman, Mason Tipton, who we talk about every year in training camp. I mean, clearly they need to fortify that position. And they're very likely going to do it in this draft because they didn't address receiver in free agency. You could certainly do it after the draft. There could be trades and another number of different ways you could bolster your roster. But using a high draft pick on a dynamic receiver is very likely something that the Saints are going to do. As a matter of fact, right now, if you look at the betting odds, my friends over at DraftKings, we had Johnny Avello on the show with us earlier, the head odds maker at DraftKings. Is Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State, as the betting favorite to go number 8 to the New Orleans Saints. So it's not just me and you. It's even the people who make money doing this sort of thing and projecting these sorts of things. And, it's always a fascinating exercise to go through the draft after we have months and months and months in conversation to see what the front office is actually thinking. Because I think we all can look at this roster and recognize, yes, they need help at receiver, but they also need help at corner. And they need an edge rusher, and you could probably use safety help. And I mean, when you're picking 8th in the draft, you got a lot of needs. And so the Saints have put themselves in position at 8 where you don't want to be because it means you're bad, but they put themselves in a position to take a good player at a position of need, which is why it's going to be hard to come out of Thursday disappointed. But if it is a receiver, I'll be excited. And Mickey Loomis, when he met with reporters, did discuss the overall wide receiver class.
Look, I think it's good. It's what I said before. There's going to be good players in this draft, no matter what you think about that depth. And it's up to us to get them identified, and then hopefully, we have the opportunity to take those guys. But I do think there's a lot of good receivers in this draft.
Loomis was also asked if they had gotten Tyler Shough's input on this receiver class.
We'll ask any of our players that have a crossover with someone in this draft, and it's always the young guys that played with someone. If they've played with someone, we talk to them about hey, what kind of guy is he? How did he learn? How did he practice? So we ask questions of all our guys. It wasn't just Tyler. It's everybody on our team that has a crossover with a player that's in this draft that we may have an interest in.
Well, the one very obvious crossover with Tyler Shough is Chris Bell. We've talked about him a ton. The Saints brought him in for a top 30 visit. If you're not familiar, he's a guy that would have been a surefire first-round pick in this draft. He tore his ACL, very serious knee injury. Not sure about his availability, how much that'll heal. It's why the medical is so important. But the Saints brought him in for a top 30 visit. But that's one of the reasons I like Chris Bell a lot is you're talking about a productive, big-bodied receiver who has a rapport and a relationship with this quarterback who you're building around. It's not a new take. We've talked about it plenty. But Shough at the Zurich was asked about Chris Bell.
One of my close friends, obviously my guy, and he brings a level of physicality, I think, for any team that's really hard to replicate. And I think it would be great for sure. But I know I'm fired up to be back here right now. And I mean, the wide receivers that we do have that we've signed so far, it's exciting to see those guys work too.
Now, Shough was also asked about the rest of the wide receiver class. I'm going to get to in just a second. But I'll draw a comp, and I do this hesitantly because I don't want you to think this is the exact comp I'm making. But when the Cincinnati Bengals drafted Joe Burrow, the next year, most everyone thought Cincinnati was going to be looking offensive line. And that was the draft with Penei Sewell. And the thought was select Joe Burrow's franchise left tackle. Select the guy that's going to protect his blind side for the next decade. After he'd had his knee exploded in his rookie season. And what did they do? They drafted Jamar Chase. And that wasn't a bad pick. I mean, Jamar Chase is arguably the best receiver in the NFL. But Joe and Jamar, great friends, had that rapport. They got a dynamic, elite-level weapon that elevated their quarterback, who they knew was going to be their franchise. So you heard Mickey Loomis say they'll ask any player that has a relationship with a prospect about him. You heard Shough say he's one of my close friends talking about Chris Bell. There's the injury question, and there's risk-reward. So where in the draft are you willing to pull the trigger on Chris Bell? At 42? That might be ambitious considering the injury. But it's almost certain he's not going to be there at 73. So is it a situation where maybe you start to package picks to move up for another second-round pick for Chris Bell? Do you take him at 42? Well, that obviously depends on what you do at 8. If you take a receiver at 8, then you're not taking Chris Bell at 42. You're not trading up for Chris Bell later in the second round. But it does give you the option, if you don't pull the trigger on a receiver at 8, you go best defensive player available, whoever that may be. Maybe it's Bain from Miami. Maybe it's Caleb Downs if he's on the board. Maybe it's Mansour Delane. Interestingly enough, when we talked to Johnny Avello from DraftKings earlier today, his projection for Mansour Delane would be that he would fall outside of the top 10, so maybe that's not as likely. Although, if you look at the odds, Tyson is the betting favorite to be the Saints pick at 8. The next highest odds is Mansour Delane. So the dominoes in the draft start to fall. There's trades. Things always happen that we don't anticipate. So we'll start to watch how it all plays out. But there's a couple of scenarios that feel realistic. Either the Saints go receiver at 8, or they go best defensive player at 8, and then a guy like Chris Bell could very well be on the board for the Saints at 42. One more from Tyler Shough. He was asked if he'd done his homework on this receiver draft class.
I've watched almost all of their film from college, and obviously curiosity, and I think all of those guys that have elite level play. I think that's the biggest thing, at least from what I've seen from all over the draft board. I think there's a lot of talent. So I think, but at the same time, we got guys that Devon Vela and Jalen Polk I've been throwing with this whole offseason who are studs. I mean, they're studs, man, and CO's been working the whole time with me as well. So I'm really excited to kind of get the ground running with those guys, and then obviously if we get somebody, that'd be great. But if not, we feel really great about it, and I know the staff and everybody's feeling great, and we got a plan to keep going.
Vela and Polk are obviously coming off of injury. Stands to reason that if you're going Chris Bell, there'd be another receiver coming off of injury. Do you want that type of question mark in that room, which is so important in this pivotal year for Tyler Shough? Remains to be seen. It's why the Saints are one of the real fascinating storylines on the first day of the draft. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Love driving my Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport every single day. Every day I take Drew to school, I strap him into his car seat, and I have that peace of mind and security knowing that every day when I'm on the road hauling that precious cargo, I'm in one of the safest vehicles on the road. If it's a vehicle for you, for your spouse, maybe you have a graduating high school senior, a first-time driver, or a college graduate in your family, you want to buy them that vehicle that they'll love to drive, that's stylish but is also affordable and safe, Volkswagen is perfect. Highest safety designation that you can earn. All of their models have earned it from the IIHS. You can always get a great deal. You can go work out your financing online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com, and go test drive one today. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, y'all, we are halfway home on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sean Fazende in 45 minutes. I do want to remind you, tomorrow's show, we will be out at LSU on the parade grounds, our entire lineup from Off the Bench 7 to 10, the Hunt Palmer Show from 1 to 3, AFR from 3 to 6. We'll be out at the parade grounds on Thursday at LSU for the swab event, as we hope to find a match for Kate Hargett, who's an 11-year-old who needs a bone marrow transplant, and they're still looking for a donor. So we got all the info on our website at 1045ESPN.com, at LouisianaSports.net, on all of our social media. So please go check it out and participate and help if you can as we try to find Kate's match. We'll be out there helping spread the good word tomorrow and hopefully encourage a lot of people to come and get swabbed. All right. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Interestingly enough, college football season is over, as you know, but the offseason is when a lot of the legislative events around college football get debated. Well, an expanded college football playoff is probably the most preeminent conversation around college football, not involving NIL and money and all that sort of stuff. And it looks like coaches and administrators are starting to come to a consensus. And we'll talk about that when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about River City's 1 Hour Air. They've been awesome to us for so many years. You know how if you open up your phone and the photos, it'll show like memories in your if you have an iPhone, I don't know if Androids do that, but it'll show like memories. I had one pop up on my phone the other day. It was 8 years ago, and it was a photo of a River City's 1 Hour van outside of the front of my house. I must have taken a picture to share on social media or something like that. But for as long as Eric and I have been married, we got married in January of 2012, so 14 years, we've been River City's 1 Hour Air customers, and we've been part of their membership club. I pay that money out of my own wallet. Eric and I do every year, and I recommend you do it too. Because when you're part of their membership club, it comes with several things. Number one, the seasonal maintenance is complimentary. So when I tell you about the preseason AC tune-up or the heater safety check, they call you to schedule, and it's totally free, no catch when you're a member. You get membership pricing and front-of-the-line service. It's totally worth it. Do it. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001. 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this...
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, rolling along. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We've had this conversation on and off for well over a year now about the future of the college football playoff. Is it going to be 16? Is it going to be 24? And it seems to be this battle royale between the SEC and the Big Ten. Greg Sankey and the SEC favor a 16-team playoff. Tony Petitti and the Big Ten, they want to go to 24. So I would love a 24-team playoff where there are no automatic bids at all. It's just the top 24 teams as determined by, I would choose, a power ranking system. I don't know that that's realistic, but I think we do it in other sports, and 24 is a large enough sample to where you're going to get the top 24 teams or 24 most deserving teams in. And the counter argument is always, well, you're watering down the regular season, or if you're going to have the same problem because if you put in 24, then team 25 is going to complain. And I will tell you that I don't care about team 25 at all. If you're there, then you don't have much of an argument. It's like team 70, 71, 72 in the NCAA men's tournament. Do better. I don't care. What I do care about is when you don't have an equitable schedule in college football, which you don't, and you have a small number of playoff teams get in that are not as deserving as teams that play a tougher schedule but don't have as good of a record. We see it all the time. 2 years ago, that was Indiana. They were 11-1. They played two ranked teams, got their ass kicked by both of them. But they were 11-1, so they got in. Tulane, James Madison. Like, these teams do not need to be taking college football playoff spots. No shade to Tulane. I love John Sumrall, great coach. Thought they had a great season. It is patently absurd that Tulane is in the college football playoff. And a 10-2 team from the SEC was not. It's absurdity. Let Tulane play an SEC schedule. How does that go? They're not in the playoff. We all know it. Same with James Madison. It's not just those schools. It was Boise State a year ago. It's this conversation that's as old as this conversation. You get to 24, say, okay, we'll be one of the 24 best teams in the country. If you're one of the 24 best, which I think Tulane or James Madison could have made an argument for that a year ago, or Boise 2 years ago. Sure, okay, you want to be the 24th team in and play the 1 seed on the road? I mean, if you're worthy of that, okay. We don't like just gifting playoff spots to people. There's also the the conversation about watering down the regular season. I think it's the exact opposite. I think it actually incentivizes teams to schedule tough games. If you have a power rating component of it, a strength of schedule component, it incentivizes good matchups instead of loading up your schedule with garbage that fans don't want to see just to get wins. And I think it would rectify the regular season, get rid of meaningless conference championship games. Meaningless conference championship games. You play a conference schedule, determine your champion. Like, we don't have an NFC South championship game because you played a schedule, and the team with the best record won the division. What if there's a tie? Figure out the tiebreaker, like everybody else in the history of ever has done. Again, this isn't hard. But what's interesting is there's meetings scheduled for this week in Dallas at the Ritz-Carlton in Las Colinas. We put up the drywall at the new McDonald's. That's an Office Space reference for those who got it. So the 10 FBS commissioners and Notre Dame athletic director Pete Bavacca are going to discuss expansion of the college football playoff. And we know what the two sides that are conflicting here with the SEC and the Big Ten. But it sounds like there's more, like, it sounds like the 2014 playoff is gaining some steam. So Chris Lowe has a piece up at On 3, a Big Ten athletic director, said, quote, SEC folks would go to 24 now. Greg has a mixed room he has to manage. And by the way, that makes sense. If you're an SEC head coach and you just went to 9 games and the playoff hasn't expanded, you just created instability for your job security, because half of the SEC is guaranteed another loss now with a 9-game schedule. So, yeah, I get why they would want an expanded playoff. Okay, we'll play a tougher schedule if we still have access to the playoff. Also, they try to end the season no later than January 8th or 10th. I love this. You start week 0. You play up until New Year's. You could have the championship game you have the semifinals on New Year's Day, and the championship game could be a week later. Love it. Easy. Sankey did talk to On 3, saying he believes the playoff should expand. I think I said that. Still thinks 16 is the right number. We know that Yahoo, Ross Dellinger, reported a day ago that the presidential committee is, as he wrote, quote, coalescing around 24, meaning the presidents who ultimately are going to vote on this are starting to get on board with 24, and it sounds like some coaches are falling in line there as well. Kirby Smart said, I'd split it right down the middle. Most coaches are going to say more is better than less, but I can live with either one of those two. I don't think there's a huge difference. Again, you're starting to see some concession here. Josh Heupel told On 3 that with the way college football is changing, 24 teams, quote, probably makes the most sense. Steve Sarkisian also said, I was adamant in our meeting, if we're not going to go to 16, I'd rather go back to 4. And then, so again, like, he wants more than less. Trying to think of there. I'm looking quickly. Kalen DeBoer said, you want to make every game in the regular season as meaningful as possible. I think there's easy math to figure out how to make it work for 16 for sure. A little more complicated beyond that, but 24 is something we should be looking at. Again, you're seeing concessions. You're hearing concessions. Not necessarily, let's go do this, I'm for it, but it's not absolutely not adamantly opposed. And if the answer isn't no, then ultimately you can get to a yes. It's just, what steps do you have to take to get to that yes? No is absolute. No is multiplying by 0. It's always going to be 0, no matter how big the other number is. What you're hearing from all these coaches, Chris Lowe also quoted Eli Drinkwitz and Mike Elko, Ryan Day. The answer from all of these coaches is not no. It's, I might prefer something else, but this could work. That's not my favorite idea, but I get it. I think we could see it. I'd rather expand than go backwards. Like, what you're hearing are a lot of maybes. And when there's maybes, then it's the job of the decision makers, of those doing the selling, to make those people comfortable with the decision. And I'm telling you from the SEC's perspective, the thing that is driving this is the 9-game schedule, which has already been decided upon. Because this is going to be a very uncomfortable season around the Southeastern Conference. Because you expanded your conference schedule, you guaranteed half your league an extra loss, and the playoff didn't expand. And that's something Greg Sankey said all along they didn't want to do. They didn't want to expand the league schedule without expansion of the college football playoff or guaranteed access and more money in the TV contract. Well, they're going to get more money in the TV contract, but after losing the last 3 national championships and watching the Big Ten hoist the trophy, you're sitting here looking at a scenario where it's going to be very uncomfortable in the Southeastern Conference for a lot of teams that get hung a 9-3 when a year ago that would have been a 10-2 and in the playoff. And it's going to force this action toward change and toward an expanded playoff, which I'm for. Yes, give me a 24-team playoff. Give me 1 versus 24 and 2 versus 23 and 3 versus 22 and give me 2 weeks of on-campus games. I hate the stupid bowl game tie-ins, but if you want to keep those, you can do that as well. I'd rather all be on campus until you get to the national championship. But yes, give me more meaningful football throughout the regular season and a playoff that actually matters. Yes, give me that. I mean, we're going to get there. We've been talking about this for years here, about how we're going to get there. It's an inevitability because those that are driven by money are going to make the money work, and it's where we're going. It's where we're headed. And all of these decisions are financially driven for one reason or another, but especially now in the NIL rev share era, they've got to create more revenue. The easiest way to do that is drive TV contracts in college football. Well, how do you do that? More games. What's more lucrative? The college football playoff. So they're going to keep adding games. And they should, and it's going to be better for all of us. I promise you. I've been talking about this for more than a decade. It's going to be okay. For those wailing and gnashing of teeth, those melting down, just like 4 didn't kill college football, 12 didn't kill college football, 24 ain't going to kill college football. It's going to make it better. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Mother's Day is right around the bend. Gents, thrill mom with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. That's the website. LMFJ.com. You can always shop them online or pop into any of the Lee Michaels locations, 9 of them, in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, or online at lmfj.com. Timeless pieces from designers like David Yurman, Mickey Moto. There's something beautiful for every budget, all waiting inside that little red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Visit them online at lmfj.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. You want to weigh in, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us. You can text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you get involved in the show. You can text our station line as well at 499-1045. Well, now I got a quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 2. Musil do Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential, call Darren James. I love this testimonial that I got from Darren, this gentleman who wrote a Google review. Said, man, been listening to Matt Moscona for 11 years, been hearing him talk about Darren James, and when it came time to sell my home, I called somebody else. And my home sat on the market for a year. Finally stopped being stupid. I called Darren James. The first showing that Darren had, bought the house. A home that had sat with another realtor for a year. Yo, the numbers don't lie. Darren James in the Wall Street Journal's list top 1% of realtors in America. He's number 13 in the country last year. That's volume. That's total number of properties closed. If you need to sell your home, call the realtor that sells more homes than anybody. He's got to be doing something right. Oh, you'll find out from one phone call. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts, provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Bayou Ford has the new 25 Ford F-150 Lariat truck with $12,000 off MSRP, plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
My father, J.B. Faugu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Faugu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We are presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Pretty darn good night for Tari Eason in game number 2 of the Rockets playoff series against the Lakers. Of course, Western Conference first round in full swing now. 27 minutes for Eason off the bench. Put forth 10 points and 8 boards, so a near miss there on the double-double. Also had a blocked shot in the ballgame as well. Wasn't the best shooting night from the floor, but 2 3-pointers really brought his scoring night full circle, helped him kind of make up some of the slack there. Lakers did get the win. They lead that series 2-0. Trendon Watford did not play in the Sixers game 2 against the Celtics. A healthy scratch, coach's decision there on that one. Looking ahead, the next time Tigers are in action in the NBA playoffs is Naz Reid. That is tomorrow night. Should have stayed. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves, that series is tied 1-1. Major League Baseball, Josh Smith. There it is. Look at this guy. 1 for 2 with a single. 1 for 2 with a single in the Rangers' 5-1 win. Did drive in a run and came around to score himself. Reached base another time with a walk. The Rangers got the win in that one, 5-1. Of course, NFL draft is tomorrow. Tigers expecting to have 1 first-rounder. That'd be Mansour Delane. See where he lands. Of course, you heard Johnny Avello earlier on here. Good thought of the top 10. Probably doesn't get past mid-teens, though, does Mansour Delane. We'll obviously keep you posted there. Any update tomorrow on Delane, and obviously Friday after he's drafted. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. Remember, this is industrial Generac generator power. Talk about them every single day. And, man, they have such a big footprint as well. This is a Generac industrial generator for your business, your industrial facility, municipalities, schools, hospitals, doctors' offices, gas stations, grocery stores, radio stations, literally any business. If you need a generator for your business, you need Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, ARCCO. They're really such an amazing front line for our communities when storms come. They've literally had government, military Black Hawk helicopters pick up their guys to dispatch them to go get power on in places. Arco.com, ARCCO. Everything's turnkey. They sell, service, install, rent your Generac industrial generator. Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you are with us here on this Wednesday edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Tomorrow, of course, is Thursday. It's first round of the draft. A lot of people have asked, we are not having our customary draft party that we do every year over at in our live stream that we do, because we committed to doing the swab event for Team Kate tomorrow. Our resources are stretched, but this was just such a worthwhile thing to do. So apologies for those that were looking forward to it. We always love being at Don Juan for the draft, but we'll pick a different day, and we'll be back at Don Juan for a different event. But we will not be at Don Juan for the draft party. We'll not have a live stream during the draft tomorrow. But we're excited to be out at LSU for the swab event. Hope to find 11-year-old Kate Hargett, her match, to get a bone marrow donor and save that young girl's life. Way more important. So that's where we'll be tomorrow. All right, we're glad you're aboard with us here. SportsCenter's coming up. Stick around. Hour 3 of AFR is next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana. Remember, if you need tires, and let's be honest, nobody wants to buy tires. We need to buy tires, because if you want your vehicle to go, you got to have tires. So tires are a commodity, man. You can get the same exact thing anywhere. You can get Bridgestone or Michelin, Firestone, BF Goodrich, Toyo. You can get those same tires anywhere. So how do you choose where to go? Go to the place that's going to sell you the best tires at the cheapest price and is going to treat you like family. Well, that's been Shawbills since 1968. Remember, go to the website, hit the promotions tab. You can see all their dealer specials, how they're going to get you the best price. If you buy tires at Shawbills and then you find them advertised cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com since 1968. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, Alabama and football coach Calandro agreed to a new 7-year, $87.5 million contract. The deal will make him the fourth highest paid coach in the sport. NFL, Cowboys ended contract talks on a long-term deal with receiver George Pickens. They want him to play this season on the $27 million franchise tender. Center Victor Wembanyama in concussion protocol, hopes to travel tomorrow when the Spurs head to Portland. Wemby uncertain for Game 3 of the first-round NBA playoff series against the Blazers. If he doesn't play, ESPN's Chiney Agwumike explains San Antonio's game plan.
I'm looking at the backcourt. This is one of the best young backcourts in basketball with De'Aaron Fox, who has enough veteran experience to lead the way. Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, the reigning rookie of the year, they are super talented, but they have to go toe-to-toe versus Henderson, versus Avdia. And right now, Henderson and Avdia have been able to have explosive games.
Arkansas star guard Darius Acuff Jr. declared for June's NBA draft, currently slotted as the number 6 prospect in the draft, according to ESPN draft analyst Jeremy Wu.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to go by it's a hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a hump day.
Hump day.
Oh, boy, Mike.
It's hump day.
It's almost draft day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, Muse.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Who do you think
It's
the
hump
Saints?
day.
Who do you think the Saints are going to pick?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I think the Saints are going to pick Cornell Tate.
Hump day.
Hey, Paul.
It's hump day.
Yes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What's the average flight speed of a swallow?
Hump Day.
I have no idea.
It's hump day.
You thought I was going to ask you who the Saints are going to pick, huh?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I did, yes.
Hump Day.
Who do you think they're going to pick?
It's hump day.
Probably somebody we're not even thinking of.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Answer the question, Paul.
Hump Day.
I'm drawing a blank.
It's hump day.
I literally just need you to say a name.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Makai Lemon.
Okay.
Hump Day.
Paul, what in the hell just happened?
It's hump day.
Did you black out?
I was trying
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I was trying to think of a better name than that, but yeah.
You're a Saints fan. Just tell me a name, any name.
Hump Day.
Oh, man. Did you get all of Muse's brownies?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
No, I'm just very sleep deprived.
Understood.
Hump Day.
Say, dog. We have all been, well, anyone who's had a newborn has been there. We have been there. All right. It's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Sean Fazende will be here in about 11 minutes from right now. He was at Mickey Loomis' press conference earlier today, pre-draft. So we'll talk some draft with Sean Fazende about 11 minutes from right now. Lane Kiffin met with reporters on Tuesday, and rare day. I actually got the mic 3 times to ask questions. 2 of them in particular were about position groups that I think were a gigantic problem for LSU in the last 2 seasons, that they've worked very hard to fortify and build some veteran experience depth. But it's 2 position groups that we've also seen a good bit of rotation so far in this spring, which leads me to believe that it's far from some spots are solidified. One on each side of the ball, one position group on each side of the ball. It's, you probably guessed, it's the offensive line and it's safety. 2 years ago was the worst safety play I've ever seen at LSU. We've talked about it plenty. It was that's a position group that has produced from LaRon Landry and Eric Reed, first-round picks, award winners like Grant Delpit. I mean, stunning. Jamal Adams. Stunning to see it 2 years ago as bad as it was. So what did they do? They went in the portal and they added Halsey and Cooley and they fortified that group, and you had Deshaun Spears coming back, and they were much better last year. But you lose Halsey after his 1 season and a lot of your depth as well. So you added Ty Benefield, and so, but you still got some questions there, especially now with Tamarcus Cooley having been injured a little bit. You're seeing a ton. We are seeing a ton of rotation at safety, and then of course on the offensive line. So we'll get to offensive line in a second, but let's stay on safety. So I asked Lane. I asked him a very broad question because one thing that I've found with him so far is, we've talked about this. I think he is very thoughtful with his answers, and he doesn't say anything without intention. So if I needed a very specific answer to something, I would ask, like whenever we've reported some of the injuries, and I asked him point blank, can you confirm Gabe Rutherford's torn ACL? That's a very pointed yes or no question. You're either going to answer that or not. And he has. But sometimes I'm curious where he's going to go if he's elaborative. And so when I asked him about the safeties, I asked him to give an overview of that position because there's a lot of different directions he could take this, and I was curious where he would go.
You know, we really play with 3 of them, and then they get stuck back in the same positions based off of formations and coverages and stuff. And so I think the young guys have done a really good job. Guys have had chances because of us holding some injury, some holding with Ty to go in there and compete. So it'll be exciting. I think the summer will be really big for young players. You know, we hit them with a lot when we came in. By the way, that workouts were, installs, just different. Not saying anything negative before, just we're really different by what we do and how much we put on the players. And so I think the summer slows down for them, and I think that's where you'll see a jump, especially in your young players.
Okay. Now, in that answer, he told you a lot. First, he said we really play 3 of them. Okay, because when we say star, what is normally the word, the positional word that follows star? You can say it out loud. What is it? star linebacker, right? That's generally how people define star, right? Star linebacker. Well, he just said we play with 3 of them, meaning 3 safeties. They look at star as a safety, not as a linebacker. And I think that's important because when he's talking about 3 of them, he's not talking about going nickel. He's talking about that being their base with Deshaun Spears, a safety, as the 3rd safety on the field. That may sound obvious, but again, last year your star was Harold Perkins. He was a linebacker. This year, it's Deshaun Spears, who's a safety. They look at it as a safety. You heard him say that. That's important. Because it's important because if they're replacing Spears for whatever reason, I don't think it's going to be with a linebacker. It's going to be with another safety. So you also heard him say, we've gotten a lot of guys work because of injury, some because we're holding some guys. And he says, like with Ty Benefield. That's something we've noticed. There are times where they have Ty Benefield is just standing there behind the defense watching, and other guys are rotating with the ones. We've seen it in team periods. We've seen it in the scrimmage. A lot of time on Saturday, the safeties with the first defense were there was no Tamarcus Cooley. They held Ty Benefield. It was Jace Thomas and Fahim Delane running with the first team at safety. Those guys aren't going to start. The other 2 I mentioned are if they're there, but it's giving a lot of those guys opportunity. And you heard him say about it's going to be important for the young guys this summer. Well, we have seen a lot of Fahim Delane, a lot of Jace Thomas, CJ Jim Coyley, who is kind of a hybrid safety linebacker playing back at free safety. And then Aiden Hall, the freshman from Edna Carr, who's an early enrollee, looks really good, by the way. He's playing the star position, which is a safety. They view it as a safety. So I think those are important designations as they're building depth behind the guys that are the first 2, Ty Benefield and Tamarcus Cooley. And I wouldn't be stunned if one of those guys, Delane or Thomas, I don't know if it'll happen, but I wouldn't be stunned if one of those guys really pushed Tamarcus Cooley in fall camp. Ty Benefield is locked in. That's not even a question. But keep an eye on the other spot to see if someone could push Tamarcus Cooley. Now, the offensive line is the other position that I asked about. And I asked about it because in the last week in particular, maybe 2 weeks, we have seen a lot of rotation on the offensive line. Remember, at the start of spring, left to right, it was Seaton and Harper, Moore at center, Ba at right guard, and Weston Davis at right tackle. And that was the first team offensive line every time out. Then all of a sudden we saw Bo Bordelon at left guard. And Harper went to second team left guard. And Jaquan Sprinkle was at right guard. And Darren Stray was at tackle. And then on Saturday, we saw Harper at right tackle and Stray at right guard. And then we saw Harper at right guard instead of left guard where he was. They moved Sprinkle over. So the point is, they're playing, there are 3 positions that are locked, solidified, not changing. Seaton's your left tackle, Braylon Moore's your center, Aluba's your right guard. That's done. Those guys are healthy. Those 3 starters are there. Weston Davis could get pushed by Harper or Stray at right tackle, and then you could have some rotation at left guards, Bo Bordelon right now. Those 2 spots are up for grabs. So I asked Lane Kiffin about what their philosophy is, why at this point they're rotating so much on the offensive line.
Just trying to find the best players, and I think when you're coming new, like we are to the program, but especially on this side of the ball, I think that's important to look at guys at different spots. Not only for what is their best spot, but then when you get jammed up in some seasons, one of the big things in college football is luck within a season of injuries and out of your control. And you'll have some really good years. Last year we had an elite year of health and low injuries and almost the same starters almost every week. And then you're going to have some years where it's not going to work like that, like the year before. So the more you can move them around and see what they do, even if it's not their best thing, so that when those injuries happen, we don't now all of a sudden that's why we do a lot of that.
So last year in spring, remember, in 2024, when you had Campbell and Emory Jones and Dellinger and Frazier, you had those 4 great veteran players. Your center was DJ Chester, and he was the weak link, and we all knew it. And so they were determined they were not going to let that happen again. So they went in the transfer portal and signed the best center in the portal. That was Braylon Moore. Well, last year in spring, DJ Chester was still running first team at center. And we all knew, like, they went into the portal and got Braylon Moore to play center. But last year in spring, Chester was still playing a lot of center. You're like, why? Well, it's an opportunity to try a lot of different things and a lot of combos, which happens in spring. But I think the other part that Lane Kiffin mentioned there is so important when he talked about injuries. Remember, there is no spring portal. Your roster is set. You've already lost two important depth pieces in Gabe Relaford and Aiden Andy, and you can't replace them. Your roster is done. This isn't the NFL where you can go to the waiver wire or sign a free agent or make a trade. Your roster is done. There is no spring portal window anymore. So you want to find, like he said, guys in their best position, but you also have to see what else they're capable of. Because like in the NFL, where you have limited roster, you have to find swing guys. A guy like Sinio Kelmete was so valuable because he could play guard, he could play left tackle, or on the right side. It didn't matter. Will Clapp was so valuable because he could play anywhere on the interior. He could play center or either guard spot. In a pinch, boom, Clapp could go in there and he could play. It's why he hung around the NFL for as long as he did, because of his versatility. So similarly now, you have to look at the offensive line in those terms. Well, Devin Harper could be a really valuable guy. He's played left guard. He's played right tackle. He's played right guard. He's played left, right, guard, and tackle. That's a guy that you feel, I don't know if you feel great about it right now as a best option, but it's an option that you have. So I think all of that is just a peek into a little bit of the insight into how and why they're doing what they're doing. Again, we're all learning this. Like me and you and all of us, we're all learning what this program is going to look like under Lane Kiffin. He said, they're going to do something different. He's like, it doesn't mean it was wrong or bad the other way before with the previous staff. It's just different. And so we're learning what it is. And he's kind of giving you a little peek behind the curtain there at two position groups where they have been bad over the last 2 years. You're looking for dramatic improvement. Personnel coaching, all of it, depth, and they're working on that here in the spring. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break, come back. Sean Fazende will be here. We'll talk some draft at AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Time's ticking, y'all. Got about a little more than a week remaining in the Gordon's Grads laptop giveaway. You have until the end of the month to submit your entries. If you're not familiar, you haven't heard us talking about it. So every year around high school graduation, Gordon gives away 15 laptops or MacBooks to graduating Louisiana high school seniors that are going to a 2 or 4 year college or trade school. So if that's you or someone in your family or someone you know, make sure they're aware of this so they can go enter. You have until the end of April to enter. So go to gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. You can see all the info on how to enter. They got a post on all their social media as well. That's at GetGordon if you want to follow them on social. But the easiest way is just go to gordonsgrads.com, gordonsgrads.com. That's where you can go to enter to win one of 15 laptops or MacBooks. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at Decision Critical.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Where are you guys though? I mean, after the success you had late last
Yeah, we're not one player away.
Mickey Loomis met reporters on the eve of the NFL draft. Sean Fazende, buddy from Fox 8, good enough to join us, talk a little bit about it. Yo, man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well. Does this one feel – I mean, you've covered a lot of these. Sat and listened to Mickey in his pre-draft press conference. Does this one feel different than other years?
A little bit. I thought, and just look, I've done this a long time. I've been to this press conference a long time. Past years, it's a whole lot of nothing, a lot of vague, a lot of, like I said, whole lot of nothing. But I thought this one, I thought he had a little bit of a, I don't know what the word is, but I thought the tone was definitely realistic. You just played the soundbite of them not being one player away. He was pretty upfront in terms of what they are not looking for with the 8th overall pick, or what they're trying to avoid with the 8th overall pick. Fairly open about, the futures of Alvin Kamara and Cam Jordan and potentially Taysom Hill based off what happens in the draft class. So at least in the grand scheme of, press conference, pre-draft press conferences with Mickey Loomis, I actually thought this was a pretty good one. Touched on a lot of different topics, spoke for about 30 minutes. And there was a little bit of insight to take from it, where in past years you really couldn't take a whole lot from it.
What do you think happens with Cam and Alvin?
Well, I think if they draft a running back first half of the draft, call it first 2 days, I think you're probably looking at a situation where Alvin is moving on. But that situation is so tricky because he's still under contract, so they would have to either try to trade him or cut him. And then there's even the idea that even if he does come back, there would even need to be an even further contract adjustment based off the adjustment that they already made. That really was the first time I had ever heard of a team using such a thing. So I think really, if a running back is taken now, if it's a 6th or 7th round pick, I don't foresee that being much of an issue for Alvin. But if it's the top half of the draft, I could see, his days being numbered. And then in Cam's case, he's been available to sign anywhere all this time. He's a free agent. And I think the market's kind of telling Cam right now, what they view his services, at least right now. Now, look, post-draft free agency, veteran free agency is a very real thing. And sometimes you can connect with someone after the draft based off of, draft classes being filled and rosters have a different look, and maybe there's a need for a player. But it feels like there's a stronger, at least in my opinion, slightly stronger path for Cam to return just based off what the market is, and obviously there's strong attachments from him to the organization. So we'll see what happens. I do think the draft will certainly tell us a lot. If they go edge early, I could see that being a problem for Cam. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
What do you think, Sean Fazande's with us, what do you think they avoid at 8?
Well, Mickey kind of told us, he said they're trying to get as clean as a prospect as possible. They're trying to be more risk averse. They're trying to avoid players that have any sort of significant questions about them. And, part of that is where they're picking. They're picking 8. So you're talking about, if you just do math, there's a realistic chance they're going to have the opportunity to pick someone that doesn't have any of those, call it risks or asterisks or whatever you want to call it. And he was asked specifically about Ruben Bain. He came out and said that's an outlier, that's an exception. I asked him about, I didn't name Jordan Tyson by name, but I said, what is your feeling on players that are injured during the pre-draft process and how you project them? He said that is difficult to project. You got to go by, what you get at the combine and do your best from your medical staff to project the timeline of a certain player. So to me, it certainly feels like they're trying to get a cleaner prospect that doesn't have the risk, call it, if you want to call it that, that would be attached to, a player with the 8th overall selection. They want as risk-free as possible because, like you said to open this segment, they're not one player away. And given where they're selecting, they'll have a chance to probably get one that doesn't have the red flags, call it.
What would you like them to do at 8, player or position? Best case.
Oh, well, best case is Jeremiah Love falling out, and they don't have to move to go get him. But outside of that, based off the realistic picture of the way the board has been projected, it's Mansour Delane all the way. It's to me, he checked that box as far as clean prospect, checks all the size, speed, measurables, productivity. I even read somewhere where he didn't commit a penalty last year, something crazy like that. You have a need. I know there's the inside-outside debate, but if you can get a chance to get the top corner of a class at 8, a premier position, I think you do it. And I think, look, he would walk in being the team's number one corner, more than Kool-Aid and more than, Quincy Riley, in my opinion. And I know, what do you do at slot corner? Well, you kind of figure that out. Either you shuffle some guys that can play outside or inside, or you look at the safety position's been alluded to with Blackman potentially being a nickel/star fit there. And I know Caleb Downs is the other one. Those would be the two names that I've kind of gone back and forth with because he would also, check the box as being pretty risk-free and fewer questions on him. And look, he fits Brandon Staley's system to a T as well. But for me, it would be Mansour Delane. I just think if you can get a premier cornerback, a shutdown corner. The last time they did it was 2017 with Marshawn Lattimore. And look what he did for the first 6-7 years of his career. I think you take that opportunity.
Got a couple more for you. Sean Fazende's with us, Fox 8 in New Orleans. He's at Sean Fazende, Fox 8, if you want to give him a follow. They had 8 picks, Sean, and I was floored last year that they made 9 selections. That's just not something that this organization has customarily done with Mickey Loomis as the GM. They're aggressive. They package picks. They move up. Do you think they will make all 8 picks?
I think it's possible, especially, if you really just listen to Mickey today. I think it's possible, especially when you consider, that was a really good draft last year, and they were patient, and it worked out for them. But I also think it's in Mickey's DNA to move up. I don't see it happening in the first round unless it's one of these small move up from 8 to like 5 or 6, and it doesn't necessarily cost you a whole lot to go up. Because I want no part of next year's first-round pick being included in any kind of package to move up. But I really could see it happening in day 2 or day 3, in particular when you get to that second wave of wide receivers. If they don't take a wide receiver at 8th overall, and you're sitting there at 43, and you have a chance to maybe make a small move up in the second round to get, a guy that, it's a high-graded prospect and obviously checks off a huge need, that would be a great opportunity as well. So I think there's pros and cons to both. I like the idea, though, that last year they had the big class, so they're kind of catching up with some of those 4- and 5-player classes that they had in years past. They got 9. So if you moved up this year, I know a lot of fans don't like that, but you'd still be over a 2-year span with 16 prospects provided what the compensation would be. You'd still be +2 in terms of your draft class. So I wouldn't have a huge problem with it. I just don't like it on day 1.
One more for you. You said like the dream scenario would be Jeremiah Love. So they've already spent in free agency on Travis Etienne. So they've gotten an expensive running back. Why would you be in favor of adding Love in that scenario at 8? Or Sean, what if crazier things have happened? They move up to 3 to leapfrog Tennessee and take the running back.
Yeah, I just think he would be dynamic playmaker for this system. You're trying to build around your young quarterback. It's the best running back in the class. And I know some people don't value that position, but I know Kellen Moore certainly had one season with Saquon Barkley, and obviously we saw what happened there. And then you could have a dynamic duo in the backfield with he and Achane. And I know you've already spent money on Achane, and that would certainly somewhat complicate things. But they've done that in years past, despite having running backs. They've drafted running backs, and sometimes those players turned out to be great players. So just for me, it would be just because of the fit and the explosive playmaking ability of Jeremiah Love. And he's another one. I mean, talk about a clean prospect. I mean, he's just done, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's been a phenomenal player, obviously, in Notre Dame system. So I just think it would be a really good fit. And at the running back position, it's always been, you always had more than just one guy back there. So for me, it would be worth it. Maybe not for everyone else, but I think Jeremiah Love, I think they have a high opinion of him as well.
Yes, they do, which terrifies me because I am firmly in the camp, Sean, of ain't no way in hell I'm taking, not Jeremiah Love, a running back with a top 10 pick. So, brother, you want to see an epic scone rant? Let New Orleans somehow find a way to take Jeremiah Love either 8 or higher. Brother, that will be must-see TV or internet content come Friday, I'll tell you that much. But
I'll tell you what, I'll be front and center watching it, man. I can't wait. I hope that happens.
Oh, God.
I want to see it.
No.
I'm pulling for it now.
No, I don't want that for this team. It'd be great content, but I don't want that for this team. All right, Sean Fazende, Fox 8. Y'all give him a follow at Sean Fazende, Fox 8. Thanks, man. We appreciate you.
All right, bud.
All right, be well. It is after further review. So I've been telling you about this. You got to go follow Supper Club on Instagram if you don't already. I'm going to show you this video. So I told you this. Late last week, Chef Layton got 2 slabs of Kobe beef, authentic Japanese Kobe beef, in at Supper Club. I believe since they've been open, this is only the second time they've ever got it. True, authentic Japanese Kobe beef from Japan, like with the purple chrysanthemum on it and everything. 2 slabs, probably about 15 pounds of beef. When it's gone, it's gone. If you love steak, if you love trying rare, incredible, different things, you've got to get to Supper Club. If you have had Kobe beef, if you're lucky enough to have had it in the past, or if you've never had it and would love to try it, you got to get by Supper Club. Because I'm telling you, with it, the more I keep talking about it, it's just going to go even quicker. But I mean, you're talking about max week and a half, 2 weeks that the thing will last. So you won't try it, get by Supper Club. You never need a reservation. You can always sit at the bar, open seating at the bar, 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. Maybe you get lucky on a given night and get a table in the dining room, but you can always get your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Kobe beef, they got it now. When it's gone, it's gone. Get on by. Try it over at Supper Club. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Really appreciate it. We do have a quick note about Verge Osberry. We'll get to the Osberries taste like Osberries. I can't believe in all the years. I got a ding? Wow.
You get a ding for that. I like that one.
Wow.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
I mean, although for sure I would get the prices right, like Wronghorns.
No,
there.
but you see, I'm biased because I love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's a guilty pleasure movie. So
in all the years I've known Verge 20-something years, I've never on air said that.
Just on air?
Or any not that I'm aware
have you
of.
told him that? That's what I was going to ask. Like,
I don't think so. He wouldn't care. Would
he get it? That's the question. Verge,
yeah,
you think?
Verge is late 50s? Of course he knows Willy Wonka. The Osberries, you have to do with the accent. The Osberries taste like Osberries. So it's Schnozberries. Tastes like Schnozberries from Willy Wonka, if you don't know the movie. I have no idea why that just popped in my brain and I said it that way. But I did, and I can't take it back. It went into the mic and out into the world, and it's there. It is there now forever. All right, I'm going to knock out a break. Stay here, AFR.
After further review.
Man, I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Awesome local business. been taking care of our community for 6 decades. Flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. Awesome selection, full greenhouses, and everything you need to beautify your outdoor spaces and keep those unwanted pests away. I got a message earlier today. Scone, what's that thing you talk about? The keeps mosquitoes away for 90 days. It's called the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. They have it at Clegg's. It's a big end cap. You see the big display. Comes in a box. It's a 2 tubes, size of a track baton. You take the top off. It's got granules in it. Fill it with water, shake it, hang it on your property line, and you're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. I don't know how or why it works. I don't really care. I just know that it does, and we don't have mosquitoes at our house, and that's the only treatment I use. It's the Aeon. It's like $30. It's the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. It's at Clegg's. So get by any of the 4 locations. Pick it up and tell them Scone sent you in. Buy local, shop local. Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Bayou Ford has the new 25 Ford F-150 Lariat truck with $12,000 off MSRP, plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit Louisiana.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wilson Alexander of On 3 has reported that LSU's got a new contract with Verge Osbury. So I think this probably surprises people to hear it a little bit, but Verge was installed, I should say, as the interim athletic director initially. They removed that interim tag. There was a little bit of semantics, as we know, but going back to December when that happened, I guess that was actually November when that happened, right after Brian Kelly was fired, and then shortly thereafter. Verge didn't get a new contract. They adjusted his salary. He received a slight pay bump from his previous salary as his associate AD job. So he got a slight pay bump, but did not immediately get a new contract. So only now has LSU and Verge Osbury agreed to a new long-term deal. So this contract, it's a 4-year deal. So it'll take him through, this is according to Wilson's report, it'll take Verge through 2030, and it'll pay him $6.3 million over 4 years. So it'll be $1.5 million per year for the first 2 years, and then it'll increase over the final 2 years of the deal by $100,000 per. So he'll go from 1.5 to 1.6 to 1.7. So that'll be the term of his deal over the 4 years. So this deal, like this contract, like all others, will have to be approved by the Board of Supervisors, which certainly will. I think it's interesting because there has been, look, Verge took this job and was thrust right into the fire from the initial what's the word? The little kerfuffle there with President Roos, who as I mentioned, sort of the semantics argument, if you remember, when President Roos referred to Verge as interim and said he could make a decision 8 hours on the job, and then they quickly sort of rectified that, and it's been great moving forward. But right from there, and then obviously he had to hire a football coach, and then there's been a change at the chairman of the board, and then of course the Will Wade situation. It's been a lot, man. If you think about Verge Osbury being on the job since November, it hadn't even been 6 months, and he's hired a football coach and a basketball coach. I mean, the two biggest hires any athletic director can make, and Verge has had to do that. And obviously, the other most popular sport on campus, baseball, you've had a very public conversation about maybe Jay Johnson being unhappy with rev share and things along those lines, that he's have to rectify that as well. I mean, I can't imagine that hiring the two most important coaches on campus and then going through what they've gone through with their baseball coach as well, that Verge will face anything more difficult than what he's already faced here through these first 4 months on the job, whatever it is, 5 months on the job. So, but anyway, according to Wilson Alexander, they have agreed, LSU and Verge Osbury have agreed to terms of a new deal, a new contract for Verge, instead of just the amendment to the deal that he had been working on that paid him a little bump from his previous salary. So congrats to Verge Osbury. I think this is relevant because, look, obviously when Scott Woodward was fired or they mutually agreed to part ways, whatever, again, semantics. But one of the things that the governor talked a lot about as sort of the core of his statement was buyouts. He wanted contracts that were done responsibly with a responsible buyout structure. If LSU fires Osbury without cause, he would be owed 80% of his remaining compensation, 80. So all that to say, if anyone was still thinking that there was this lingering thought that Verge was still a stopgap and they were waiting for an opportunity to get the right person in there, I don't see that. With the significance of this dollar amount and 80% of his contract owed him if he were fired without cause, hard to imagine a scenario where that happens, at least any time in the near future, as LSU is trying to wrap its brain around and its reality around getting out from this mountain of debt, from dead money they have from paying people that aren't working for LSU anymore. I just don't think they're eager to continue piling more dead money on their ledger. So this is a very, very clear statement from President Roos, who ultimately is the decision maker on this. Now the board has to approve it, but President Roos is the one that is Verge Osbury's boss. So, this is a very clear statement from President Roos that he supports Verge Osbury, and Verge is going to be the athletic director at LSU for a long time. So, congrats to Verge on the new deal, and as this will go before the Board of Supervisors to be rubber stamped, we'll certainly follow it. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Tell you every day to kill mold, remove odor, call Parish Restoration. Process is easy. All Jim Woodworth, his team, they'll come in, they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. They have the Sprinter vans, right? So the hosing is like all lined in the Sprinter van. So they grab the hose, they pull the Sprinter van up, they grab the hose, they run it, they go into your house, they spray, or place of business, whatever. They'll spray all throughout. They'll close up the windows and the doors. They'll let that fog dwell. It'll kill everything down to the spores, mold, other harmful pathogens, viruses like flu. You got sickness going through your school, place of business, church. You want to sanitize, have them come in and spray. Maybe you got odor. Knock out all your odor. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. Mold remediation and restoration experts, it's Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Been a really busy show. We had Johnny Avello from DraftKings on here with us in hour number 1. You heard Sean Fazende there just a bit ago. A lot of draft talk. One thing we didn't get to, the draft starts really with the second pick. This was Tom Pelissero on Good Morning Football. It sounds like there's a clearer picture now of what the Jets are maybe looking to do at 2 after Fernando Mendoza goes 1 to the Raiders.
It really comes down, Jamie, to David Bailey or Arvell Reese. And if you talk to people around the NFL, as I have, it would be a great surprise within the league if the pick is not Bailey, the Texas Tech edge rusher. He is the best pure pass rusher in this draft. Arvell Reese, obviously a very talented player out of Ohio State, but a lot of his production in the pass rush game has come on blitzing. Is he a linebacker? Is he an edge? You know exactly what David Bailey is. The sense within the league is it's David Bailey at 2. That then would put the Arizona Cardinals on the clock and begin the potential for trades, as well as open the window of about 3 picks where we think Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame could go.
It will be fascinating to see as we look through it. Of course, Fernando Mendoza will be the first pick. Arvell Reese, though, however, at DraftKings right now is minus $1.45 to be the number 2 pick, with David Bailey second at plus 110. So while Tom Pelissero is saying Bailey is likely to be the pick, that's what people in the NFL circles think. The odds makers think the opposite, that Arvell Reese is actually the betting favorite right now to be the number 2 pick. Speaking of bets, Jimmy will be here next for Auto Locks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. We tell you about Glow Resources every single day. Who we're talking to are not you, the employee. We're talking to you, the employer. You own your business and need to hire? You need Glow Resources. Maybe you're the HR manager, the hiring manager, the operations manager, the VP. If you're the person in your business that's responsible for finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com. Because at Glow Resources, they work hard to find the best people to fit the exact job that you have. What kind of job? Well, in Bay Springs, Mississippi, they're looking for a senior design engineer. Like, go to the Facebook page. You can see all these right now. Again, Bay Springs, Mississippi is looking for a senior design engineer. In Geismar, they need a training coordinator for a business. In Thibodaux, a heavy equipment operator. In Laplace, a lawn care specialist. You get the point. No matter what type of business you own, you need Glow Resources. glowresources.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Lowest prices, never any contracts, hormone replacement therapy, peptide therapy, ED treatments. Live your best, fullest, most vital life. Yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Another day, another dollar, brah. I'm excited about the draft tomorrow, man, and your yellow legal pad of about 700 picks. I'm sad I'm not going to see you at Don Juan tomorrow, though.
We are doing the show at Bally's at the DraftKings Sportsbook tomorrow. So we will we'll be giving out some bets on the show tomorrow. The last couple of days we've done that as well. Randy McKay fired in with some of his today. Matt Humans does his own mock draft. He's done that for years for the Las Vegas Review-Journal and his for his show. And so we'll have a lot of draft action for you tomorrow. And the DraftKings, a lot of people have pulled back on their menu for the draft. They hate booking it. They just feel like somebody knows and they don't on some of this information. But DraftKings has been very aggressive. Still a big menu will be available tomorrow.
Yeah, man. All right, what we got tonight?
All right, let's go to the NBA. Bounce back, the zigzag, the home team when they lose, and they did by double digits on Sunday night. We're going to take the Pistons minus the 8.5 in the first game. Nothing on the late game. It spreads like 17.5. OKC can pretty much name their score against Phoenix, but we're going to go with the Pistons to bounce back in a big way tonight. Got a Major League Baseball moneyline parlay for you. We got the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani against the Giants. Bounce back for them as well. They lost 3-1 at San Francisco last night. And Arizona to bounce back. They got shelled at home by the White Sox. Talked about them being improved this year. But Dodgers, Arizona moneyline parlay pays plus 143. Not sure what that's updated at now.
It is, I'll tell you right now. Let's see. The money line parlay is coming back right now. Still plus $1.43.
Randy McKay gave us 3 hockey bets tonight. Philadelphia, 1-1 in that series, minus 114 in the money line. Minnesota, 1-1 in that series, minus 130 in the money line. And then late tonight, a big dog, Anaheim on the road, plus $1.64. So 3 money line plays for Randy McKay. Philadelphia, Minnesota, and Anaheim. I've got one add-on for you in the totals for baseball. We've been riding. Check out what Atlanta and Washington is.
It's 9.5
underway right now. 9.5. They've gone over 5 of the last 6. Has Washington. The bullpen is not good, so I would still advise going in game over that 9.5. We got it at 9 earlier, but 9.5, I would still bet it with Atlanta at Washington.
Bottom one, Atlanta's already up 1-0 in that game. So
yeah,
good start. Yeah. Good start. All right, tomorrow, Thursday, where are we? Oh, you just said Bally's.
Bally's, the brand new Bally's downtown at the Atrium at the DraftKings Sportsbook with a lot of draft conversation, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right, get all your picks, get your bets ready to roll for the draft starting tomorrow night. Thank you, Otter.
Legal pads ready. Good luck.
I would have it no other way. That is Jimmy Ott. It's after further review. Jimmy's a Williamson Eye Center patient, by the way, as am I, Dr. Blake Williamson. Just the best. Jimmy had the custom lens replacement. I had LASIK. So Jimmy was doing the thing where, he's got the readers on the end of his nose and using the flashlight on his phone to read the menu, and said enough. Went and saw Dr. Blake, had the custom lens replacement. Now doesn't need the readers, not fumbling around for him anymore. Just opens your eyes and just see. Me, it was LASIK. And at some point in my life, I'll need some other touch-up or a refractive procedure. Maybe it'll be PRK. Maybe it'll be a custom lens replacement. I don't know. But I'll trust Dr. Blake Williamson to walk me down that path to whatever is going to be the best option to me to make sure I never have to put glasses or contacts on my face again. Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. Okay, y'all, that's going to do it for us. Hey, reminder, tomorrow our full lineup of shows are out on the parade grounds at LSU for the Team Kate Swab event. Let's pray tomorrow's the day that we find 11-year-old Kate Hargett, her match. She gets the bone marrow transplant she needs. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, much about Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. Right here, home base in Baton Rouge. Got our office in New Orleans. Recently opened up our Austin, Texas office as well. So tell your Austin, Texas friends that they have roof issues. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Hey, remember, we're also Louisiana's first certified fortified roofing company. If you've heard about fortified roofs, you're not familiar, go to the website, parishbuilt.com. Right on the homepage, you'll see the big fortified logo. Just click that logo right there, and you can learn more about fortified roofs at Parish Construction Roofing. We'd love to help you out, walk you through that process, and show you how you could save money potentially on your insurance premiums as well, as insurance companies will offer discounts if you have a fortified roof. We'd love to help you through that process. Do business with someone you know. It's Parish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.